Hello and welcome to the wonderful world of Wonky cakes. And I think Wonky cakes make a wonderful cake when you want something a little bit different, when you want to have a cake that's going to be noticed. My name's Lindy Smith and I created my first Wonky cake for my brother's wedding back in 2003. Now, at the time we were planning the cake, I'd just received some wedding magazines from Australia and they had cakes in them with slanted tops, which at the time in the UK was completely novel. I persuaded my brother that he really would like to have something a little different, and he went with it, and Wonky cakes are the result. The secret of a successful Wonky cake is getting the shape right. If the shape's right underneath the cake, then everything else just flows. So spend time doing this. What I'm going to do is turn it back over. Okay, so that gives you the basic shape. Hope you like it. And I'm going to just take my knife now and just make it more smooth. Now, doing it this way round, obviously I've got the basic shape and I'm in no danger of attacking this cut edge around the side, which I'm trying to preserve. Right, well there we go. I think that's the first tier of the Wonky cake. It's looking a little bit bumpy, and a little bit uneven, but we'll deal with that using one of these marvellous tools, a smoother, which I've already mentioned earlier. And what you want to do is start on the top and just go around in circles. You then want to start taking it over the edge of the cake. Just to sort of iron out the irregularities you might have. So, as before, I'm going to start with the tall side. I'm going to place it up against that and then bring it round over the front. Okay. So this is just a repeat of what I did last time for the base tier. So smooth it on the top first and then start working down the sides. Remembering to keep your hands cupped and bringing the paste up rather than down. Okay, and gradually go down the sides. Where there's a pleat, just open it out. You'll find the paste is quite forgiving. It, with all these pleats, will disappear. Just be patient, don't rush it. And remember just to smooth the top surface here. Okay. So again, I'm going to open the pleat here, press it in, open it. So all the pleats disappear. You're left with a covered cake. Obviously there's a few lumps and bumps still in the surface of the icing, but I'm going to get rid of those using my smoother as before. Okay, we're going to stick the flowers on now using glue. Now obviously the glue has to be edible, and I've got two different types of glue here, both of which I've made. Now it's entirely up to you which version you're going to use. This is what my preferred glue is. It's actually modelling paste, which obviously is the sugar paste with the gum, and all I've done is mix it with boiling water, and I've got a nice sort of syrupy effect. So you sort of mash the two together and you get a glue which has got sugar in it and it's got glucose and also gum as well, and you can use it immediately. So that's what I often use when I'm cake decorating. The other option is to make yourself a gum glue. Now you can see this glue here, it's a very clear glue. And the way this is made is by taking one part of the CMC, which I showed you earlier, and mixing that with the warm water. And what you want to do is you leave it in the fridge overnight and it becomes this clear glue. The proportions are about 1 to 20, and worked out in teaspoons, that's a quarter of a teaspoon of the gum to about 2 tablespoons of water. And obviously if it's too thick or too thin, you can adjust accordingly. So 2 options for you, both of which you can make yourself. So this is the stencil I'm using. And now I'm going to bring in the icing that I coloured earlier. So it's the same principle as I showed you for the board. You just want a dollop of icing. That's probably a little bit too much. Let's go a little bit less. Okay. And just place it in the centre of the stencil. and smear it to one side and then the other. Okay, and then we've got the reveal, and there we go. Obviously then you repeat it however many times you'd like to, and then probably with a little bit of help you pick up the band and you place it around the edge of the cake. So that just gives you a cutting guide as to where you want to be carving. And then take a nice sharp small knife and just start carving away. You might want to just remove a cocktail stick if it gets in the way. So you're cutting away slowly until you actually meet that bottom cocktail stick. So you're holding the knife probably about 45 degrees so you get a nice even scallop. So that's the first one. I suggest you do it in sections. You're less likely to make mistakes then. And a tip here is if you've got time is to freeze the cake, because the cake is much more stable if it's frozen. It's a lot easier to carve small sections of cake away